Luke, Lincoln in the Carabao Cup tonight, but before we talk about that, let's just rewind back to the weekend one last time. Obviously a really disappointing day for the club. I know it hurt you as much as anybody. What sort of work have you been doing with the players and what conversations have you been having with the team since then?
I need to tell them that the performance wasn't good enough. But I think it's more important that I tell them why, and I have to show them the evidence to convince them that there are things that they've done fundamentally wrong that hurt us in a really bad way. Because otherwise, I'm giving them criticism without giving them the chance to improve or to give them the evidence, and I think that can lead to people feeling confused or frustrated or searching for answers. I think where there's a void of information, it will be filled, and so it's better if I can demonstrate to the players what they've done wrong and how I think that we need to improve. And so we had that type of meeting and conversation. Was difficult for me, of course, difficult for the players, but then they had to go to training and prepare for this game. So I think it's good that we didn't have too much time without action, so we have an opportunity to try and show some level of response. Of course, some of the players that were involved in the game may not be on the pitch, but everybody in the squad was hurt, and we have to try to show a reaction.
Did the nature of the performance affect your preparation for tonight's game in any way? Did you have a plan for tonight's game which has been altered in any way given what you saw at Sutton, or has it just been a case of carrying on with the original plan but having to do maybe a bit of different work in between?
Well, I mean, we ordinarily wouldn't like to have a type of meeting that we had the day before a game, but we needed to, and we need to use it to our advantage in some way to improve. But I think if we ignored it or we tried to move on without really making clear the reasons why we were so poor and what needs to improve, then we would run the risk of being more likely to make another performance similar. So we had to address that. It's not the perfect preparation for a game, but we try to move on in the AM and say, okay, that game done and analysed, and now we have to make our preparations in the PM for the game tonight.
Of course, you want to win every game. The Carabao Cup, fantastic competition. It presents the opportunity to have a very attractive tie early on as well. What is your approach to this one this evening? You alluded earlier in the interview to saying that there may be some changes to the team. What's the general approach?
I want to see that people are desperate to win for Notts County, and that's something that we've become accustomed to, and genuinely something that I didn't think I would ever see the team on the field without that obvious desire to win the game, and I really want to see that back. I think it's the most important thing is that we look like we want to defend the shirt, and that we're excited to attack in the shirt and try and score. But yeah, I think first and foremost we need to look like we want to defend the shirt with everything that we have.
One man who won't be able to do that is Aidan Stone. He's going to be suspended just for tonight, I believe.
Yeah, it's a one match suspension, and this one is included. So we have hopefully Aidan back for selection for the Grimsby game.
A couple of men who weren't in the squad, three men that weren't in the squad on Saturday: Geraldo Badrami, Junior Marias, Will Randall. Can you just give us a little update on the three of those and where they are in your plans at the minute?
Yes, Will is still recovering from what was really a fatigue injury just from training, the repetition and volume of running probably. So it's not a big deal, but Badrami and Marias will be will be available for selection.
Generally, I know the weekend will have hurt you hard, and I know that there's been a lot of work since then. But fans will want to know that you're feeling okay about everything. I mean, I can see a little bit of a smile on your face there. I mean, hopefully you understand how much credit in the bank you and the players have from last season, and I know that that's not something you want to be complacent with, but hopefully you can still see that there's a huge amount of support and a huge amount of faith from the outside in you and this team, despite what happened on Saturday.
Of course, the support even after the game was incredible, and something that I felt hugely embarrassed about how well they performed compared to us. And yeah, credit only lasts so long. We have to keep putting credit in the bank. We have to keep earning it. We have to keep putting it away. And if I have the feeling that we have people that feel like they have enough credit now to relax, then it's going to be something that I can't tolerate. And I don't think that's the case. I think so highly of the group. I really, really do, honestly. I think so highly of the group. They're great guys, but I also have such a huge responsibility to them to make sure that they maximise what they have. And of course, I have a even bigger responsibility to the thousands of people that follow us.
On a final note, Macaulay Langstaff, we've spoken in several interviews over the last year about his qualities, and we don't need to go over old ground, I don't think, but can you just talk about the gesture from the club to give him the security of a deal until 2027, but equally his loyalty to Notts County at this stage in the window as well, which is important for us, isn't it, to commit to that length of time? Just give your overall thoughts on the deal from both sides.
Well, of course, I'm very happy, because putting the ball in the back of the net is the most difficult thing, and he's made that look very easy since he arrived here. And then whenever I talk about Macaulay, I have to talk about how hard he works. That is the closely second to putting the ball in the back of the net. Is he's so tenacious and never stops running and will compete for everything, and a great guy, and he trains like that every day, never misses anything. I'm sure he trains with injuries, at times, and he doesn't tell anyone. He's just, we need that. We need a guy that scores 42 goals from open play, but is hungry to score more. That's what we need. And so that was brilliant that we were able to secure his services longer. And I think it also shows that when you play for a really great club, you can feel it. And I know that there must have been many conversations with Macaulay to try and take him away. But like I said, when you have a brilliant feeling and a brilliant connection with a top club, it's difficult. I'm so happy it's difficult for him to move away from here easily. And now we hope that we can help Macca to achieve more success in his career and give more brilliant moments to us.
How much can he improve from here, do you think?
Yeah, for sure, because the reason I believe that is because when Macca came here, he had been playing with a brilliant, I think everyone knows how much I like Gateshead, and but it was a different level. It was a different level, and the jump up to Notts County, the level of the National League compared to the National North is but then to go from Gateshead, with, of course, the maximum respect to Gateshead as a club, but it's impossible for them to compete at the moment with coming to Notts County. And Macca was not in the same condition that he is now. He still had one or two concerns about a new position with me, and he had to then prove to himself that he could score goals at the next level. But now I think he is better athletically. I think he is he's more streetwise and smart, and he's proved he can score goals in the National League for a big club with pressure, and have to maintain his levels throughout a long season with obvious competition in the shape of Paul Mullin as well. This type of thing is completely new, and different, and he's dealt with all of that so well. So I feel like he has all that behind him now. He has all that experience behind him, and it's not taken away his desire or his commitment. So for sure he can go on another level.
Maka gives a lot of credit to you and your staff for the way he has developed in the last year at Notts. I know you will be giving all the credit to Maka, but I just wonder if in years to come you may look back on your decision to play him as a central striker so early in pre-season of last season. Will you look back on that decision and take real pride in that, because it appears that you've set him on a path to be a prolific goal scorer? I know he scored many at Gateshead the previous season, but it really seems like he's found his role there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that probably in the beginning of your coaching journey, you want to feel like you've done a lot, but the longer you're in it, the more you realise that you can only add a small amount, and
But he initially, by his own admission, he wasn't sure about that instruction to play down the middle and barely touch the ball in the build-up and stuff. So, you had to convince him of that.
Yeah, but then you can convince the player all you want, but if the player is not Maka, it doesn't matter. And I know so often when I speak about Maka, which is lovely because I get to speak about him a lot, but so often I want to mention Kedwin, because when Kedwin played so many less minutes, but when he gets in the same position as Maka, so often it's the same response. He's such a great finisher, and his positioning brilliant. He make the same actions in training as Maka. We try to give them, and he adjusted as well brilliantly, absolutely brilliant. So no, I know, unfortunately, the truth is that the huge percentage of achievements are because the players have real good quality, or they have great physicality, or a combination, and you can do a lot of good work and really feel like you helped a player, and you can get very little back. But if you do try to work hard and try to give logic to and convince a player, when the player is really, really good, like Maka, then they're the ones that make everything happen.